Pure Farms, and bites from Nepal. That's next on Columbus Neighborhoods.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, serving customers and communities for nearly a century. Today, a technology and transformation company. Risk takers, creators, innovators. A company defined not by its history, but by its people. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Mortine Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.
We're at Upper Cup Coffee on Parsons Avenue today. It's a unique spot on the east side, owned by Eritrean brothers Samson and Michael Habte, who say the traditional coffee ceremony in their home country inspired them to get into the coffee business here. There are unusual spots like this one all over Columbus, and we wanted to celebrate them today with a little ceremony of our own. Our first story takes us back to the 1920s, when owning just a little bit of land to farm was a big selling point.
Today I'm in an area called Baby Farms, located east of I-71 and just south of Morris Road. Here I ran into my old friend Tracy Garber, who wanted to know a little bit more about the history of his neighborhood. In a city of subdivisions and more subdivisions, I think what is special about Baby Farm is that not only does it have a unique history, but we're able to match the history with an actual real estate brochure, with an actual transportation map. Indianola is, and the rail line is coming up this way and it's coming up. And Morris Road, which is actually Rathbone on the other side, is sort of like the new place to live. And if you look at all this open space, these are still farms all around here in 20s. There are huge tracts of land owned by mortgage companies already because they know which way the wind is blowing. They're going to subdivide, but your streets are already laid out in 27. We found an old real estate brochure, and I think that's what started the hunt to find out more about the neighborhood, was this unusual brochure that starts with the baby farm and a little kid eating a watermelon, and all of the copy that talks about how the city is growing north, and it's growing north because of the inner urban lines. The brochure talks about following the fresh air up north and Baby Farm's appeal. There were 181 lots, I think, originally, was that you could have your own little stake of ground and essentially doing truck farming. So you've got 1, 2, 3, or 4 lots. Most people had 4 city lots. And there was no zoning. There was nothing that they had to conform to. So they would have this big opening up here, and you could come and look at the lots. You could choose the one that you wanted. They were going to make it very economical for you. Probably the most arresting part of it, in addition to all the graphics, is this little square here that says free sugar. We will give absolutely free a 2-pound carton of pure cane sugar to every white adult who visits Baby Farm Sunday, April 30th, and registers his or her name and address. We expect each spoonful of this sugar to remind you of the sweet, pure air and the sweeter music of the birds on our baby farms. Or reminds you of segregation, whichever comes first. But what's interesting about this is that we forget that as the city was expanding in the 20s, and the 20s are a high period of de facto segregation. And so anything that was touched by a streetcar line, Linden, the near west side, the hilltop, this neighborhood, would have had, in a way, the rumblings of a gated community. They're not saying you can't buy here, but boy, they're pretty sure about who they're targeting. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
The houses, for the most part, yours came in late 50s, early 60s?
Yes, I'm the third owner. I was told it was built by an OSU professor.
What do you love about your house?
It's very open plan, very modern. The windows front and back, I can see right through it. It's like living outside.
Do you have a lot of the original fixtures inside?
I have a few. I actually have the original stove and cooktop. I have all the original kitchen cabinets.
Did you do all the unusual landscaping?
Yes, I have. I did construction, so every time we dug a new foundation, the backhoe operator became my best friend and he would load up rocks for me.
All the houses in the neighborhood seem to be slightly different, although there are some split levels and some little cottages. Yours certainly stands out as the most unusual. Is the color scheme the original one when you bought the house, or was it your design?
No, that was my design.
And why pink and blue? It's perfect.
I thought it spoke to the house. It said it wanted to be pink and blue, and I love pink.
They're very 50s colors, so that kind of works out very well.
Yes, and I was told it looked like a Miami home.
Oh yeah, kind of a little bit Art Deco, Miami color.
Right. Some of my neighbors didn't quite like it at first, but they grew to love it.
Oh yeah.
Or at least I hope so.
As I traveled around the neighborhood, I discovered a property with a huge garden. The owner is Milan Karcic, who operates Peace, Love, and Freedom Farm. Why did you buy out here? And did you know that you were buying in an area called Baby Farm?
We were looking for a home with a lot of space, and my wife found this spot, and we fell in love with it. We found it was a perfect blend between the city and the country. We didn't know much about it besides it was called Baby Farms.
Never questioned that odd name.
That came with time.
Oh, okay.
We just fell in love with it because we knew we were going to start a baby farm.
What other stories have you heard about the neighborhood and its history?
We had an OSU professor who was a botanist. He was always doing experiments with plants. He lived on this road. The building behind us was built in the Great Depression as a source of income and a way to feed families. It's a chicken coop, and it's an enormous building, and you could have a lot of chickens in there. We have some old timers here that have been here since they were kids, and they saw this neighborhood change, and they were here when it was just farmland. Our garden specifically was sweet corn and strawberries.
So tell me, what is your operation here?
We're a certified organic farm. The total acreage of our garden is just over 1/4 of an acre. Our customers are the Refractory Restaurant. I sell at the Clintonville Farmers Market every Saturday. Without them, I would have gone out of business. And I have 20 families this year that I'm feeding as well every week during we call it a CSA, where every week we deliver a bag of produce to their door.
This represents how many years of development?
This is our 4th season here.
Okay.
We started small with maybe 1 row or 2 rows, I think it was the first year of beds.
Right.
Every year we expand a little more. We're trying to hire somebody to help with the workload,
Okay.
because I'm trying to balance my workload and my family life. That's an issue that I think a lot of farmers or gardeners have, is
Right.
the amount of work that it is.
It's wonderful that the name has come back to actually do what it was set out to do. Because you were the end of a streetcar line or the inner urban, and this was the place that you could feed a family, and you could do it, economically, and you're doing it. In fact, you're feeding 20 families and your own. What a great story.
It's an honor.
History tells us that immigrants created neighborhoods like German Village on the south side, and there was even an Irish village where Nationwide Boulevard runs near High Street. Recent immigrants have a unique way of creating community, as we learned recently with Bim Bastola, a Nepalese Bhutanese refugee who is a grocery store owner and community activist. We're at the Himalayan Grill in Gahanna. It's owned and operated by a group of new Americans who came here as refugees. The dishes are from Nepal, Tibet, and India, and they're full of fragrant spices. Today we've got handmade chicken dumplings called momo. Inside there's cabbage, onions, cilantro, garlic, and ginger. And kasi kosekwa is a special Nepali entree with marinated goat meat char-grilled on skewers. What's the name of it again?
Khasi ko sekwa.
Kasi kosekwa.
Khasi means castrated goat, male goat.
Okay.
That is the specific castrated male goat, khasi.
Okay.
And sekwa means barbecue.
Sounds good. It's very tasty. Why aren't you eating yours? Today I'm meeting Bahim Bastola, who helps refugees settle into the Columbus community. He's part of the Bhutanese Nepalese Community Center off Morse Road. Do you cook?
Oh, I hope to, but I don't know. My wife takes care of all cooking.
You do a lot of other things. And one of the things you do, I know, is helping people with housing. I understand the Bhutanese Nepalis have some fairly unique needs as far as housing. What kind of housing are they looking for?
Most of our people live in joint families. So at the least they'll be looking for a 2-bedroom. That is for a nuclear family with maybe 1 or 2 kids. But most of them, they need at least 3-bedroom houses, apartments, because of the sheer size of the family.
Are you talking about extended family all living
Yes,
together?
yes. Most of our families would be living 4 generations together. They love to do that.
So the family really stays close together,
Yes.
helps each other out. Because I understand that the refugee community, they may come here, start in very low-paying jobs, but they buy houses very quickly. How do they do that?
They pool their resources together. So what happens is different family members come together, they give 5,000 each, maybe 10,000, somebody gives 12,000 as a gift money. And
So
he buys the house.
working together.
Yes.
You put all your
When the
money
turn
together and
comes
then
for
you
him,
can.
Yes. When the turn comes for the other person who contributed now, he contributes. Whenever I'm ready to buy a house, I just try to talk to my 5 or 6 of my family members around, friends and families. So that's how it comes about.
You all live together in the same house, but how do you divvy up who gets what rooms and who does the cooking on which days and that sort of thing?
Well, we leave it to the woman.
So you stay out of that part.
Yeah.
And it just all works out. Everybody
Yeah.
works together.
Yeah. It's ingrained in the blood. You just give and take is very natural.
Do you have family conflicts? Does everybody
We
get
do have-
along?
We do have. We just try to walk out of such conflicts. You know, it's a compulsion. So long as there's no way out, we got to work around.
People are buying houses in different parts of the city. Doesn't that make it harder to have a sense of community, or what do you do to maintain that sense of community?
Well, of course, it's a challenge to maintain a cohesive unity and the community getting together for different functions. But again, we want to mix up. So you'll find our people have gone to Reynoldsburg, Westerville, some have gone to Worthington, some are going to Grove City, some are buying in Dublin.
I guess that means we'll never see a Bhutanese Nepali community like we have Chinatown in San Francisco. That won't happen with the refugee community?
I don't foresee in our community because we have had a very long stay in our camps.
You're talking
Also-
about the refugee camps in
yes,
Nepal?
Yes. So we have had enough of that, living together in this close-knit community. We want to be open. We want
After
to mix.
being
Yeah.
kind of forced to be
Yeah.
in such tight quarters
Yes,
there.
yes, yeah.
It's nice to be able to spread out here.
Yeah, out in the open air, mixing with other people.
What are the things that bring you all together from all these different parts of the area?
Mainly religious functions. One of them is community event is the annual cultural event that happens late September, early October. There are religious events that are conducted by the temple that can go up to 5 times or 6 times a year. So we have such festivals, Janmashtami, we have Dasara, we have Diwali, then we have Ram Navami, we have Sivaratri, so many festivals.
So these are Hindu festivals that
Yes.
happen throughout the year.
Yeah.
And how does that feel when you all get together?
Oh yes, I feel nostalgic at times. The crowd here in America is so less. If we go to Nepal, you feel like it's a sea of people. But even then, there are areas where people, not even 10 people gather, but here at least 400, 500 people gather for a simple ceremony. So it's a big thing. Like, we are lucky that we have a lot of people here in Columbus.
Do you miss the mountains?
Missing the mountains? It's like cutting off a limb. It is a part of our life, you know, running up and down the brooks, the small rivers, streams.
And what was your reaction when you got to Columbus, which has no mountains?
There's a different kind of attraction here. I miss the mountains, no doubt, but I'll be missing Columbus when I go there.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you for complimenting our city, even without having any mountains here.
Thank you very much.
You're very gracious.
The important thing to remember is that a term like village or town or city means different things to different people. But in Ohio, we have a legislative definition that has come into being by statute law of what a village means on the one hand and what a city means on another. If you get a group of people living in one place with relative density for any period of time, by Ohio law, if that place has less than 5,000 people in it, it is legally a village. If a place comes to have more than 5,000 people in it, it is legally a city. It has to go to the legislature to get that designation, but as soon as you reach 5,000 people, you become a city. Columbus is a classic example of that. It was founded to be the capital of Ohio in 1812. The initial population was about 700 people. The term used at the time to describe a place like that was a borough that was recognized by the legislature. That term later will be changed to village. Columbus grows very slowly until the arrival of the Ohio Canal and the National Road in the early 1830s. That time, Columbus had a population of about 2,000 people. Within 2 years, the population had jumped to 5,000 people, and in 1834, Columbus became a city. That process takes place time and time again as small villages, places like Dublin, Worthington, Westerville, reach 5,000 people, they become the city of Dublin, the city of Worthington, the city of Westerville. The process continues to the present day.
These stories remind us that neighborhoods go through seasons. Sometimes neglect brings change. Sometimes reinvention brings us right back to where we started. We wanted to expand the conversation, though, because there are many areas of the city that haven't found their uniqueness yet. Our next story talks about the struggle to create a neighborhood identity.
This is Main Street between Bexley and Whitehall. It's about a 1.5 mile stretch of road. It's a very small neighborhood.
We don't have a name. It still gets people coming on the old National Road. And we have a few markers along the way that remind people that this is the National Road. This section out here, being close to the city edges and the airport, had a multitude of small motels, things that would appeal to people coming into town. There were some other restaurants and a few family, oriented things. But as the freeways got developed, more and more of the family-friendly things moved out. It does not have the closeness of a neighborhood or a business district like you might find in Clintonville or German Village or Short North. That ambiance is kind of gone. Didn't really hit me that it was as intense as it was, but as I moved in and as I lived there, let's say I had to pick up some unusual trash along the side of my house. And it was not the kind of thing I would hope my grandchildren would come across.
This location there, that was another strip joint. Now along Main Street here, it was voted dry. And so that cleaned up a lot of the issues in regards to selling beer and alcohol. There was a strip club right there, which has since been closed down. And so then when we have this issue at the Motel 1, you know, where there was drugs, where there has been homicides, where there's been prostitution, all gathering at this one location.
Nobody wanted to invest any money because it was such an eyesore and such a center of crime.
We then says, okay, well, let's work together with the city, with the county, with the fire marshal, everything that we can do. Make sure that people call. When they see a prostitute going in there, this, that, and the other, make sure you call the police so that we build a paper trail.
That's what the motel was eventually declared, was a nuisance property. But it was the kind of thing that also we felt very proud, because now we understand that the efforts that were put in by our communities helped the city to form a program which they have now used to close other nuisance properties, especially in the North End.
And that was just an amazing time, because it was over 10 years worth of work, and where people were always told, well, we can't do anything about it. Well, they could do something about it, and they showed that they could do something about it. And why that happened was because of the commitment.
To me, it's a turning point to move Main Street forward in fixing it up, to new investment.
And this is where civic involvement gets supersized, because two things came out of East Main Street. The first was the MAC.
The Mid-East Area Community Collaborative, we formed that group to bring together all the block watches, civics, area commissions.
It helps to strengthen the citizen participation on the whole East Side.
Then the launch of the Neighborhood Best Practices Conference under the United Way of Central Ohio.
So we started the Neighborhood Best Practices Conference 7 years ago. We actually had the workshops were being done by community people who had done the work. And so it really allowed them to be able to show what they are done and the successes that they've had. But also the biggest thing that we get out of this, we have about 300 people every year, is that the communities get that opportunity to network together, but then also share those stories, and also know that there's people in there that have been doing this type of work and are really engaged, and that you are not alone to really address these issues in your communities and make your communities the way that you want them to be.
What's next for Main Street? Safety. A special improvement district was approved in late 2016 to increase bicycle patrols.
Special Improvement District is a creation of the property owners in a defined business district in which the property owners agree to pay an additional tax in order to finance, improve safety through bicycle patrols. We did a survey of property owners, business owners along the street, and one of the main concerns was safety, was the petty crime that goes on, the prostitution, the petty theft.
How hard was it to convince the business owners to do this? Because this is an extra tax on what they do. It dips into their profits.
Yes. Well, it varied widely. We've been working on it for a couple of years, so it took some time. But some of them just right away. This is a great idea. So I don't mind paying that little extra money. That's just fine.
It bears noting that launching a special improvement district is a collaborative effort between a lot of people and a lot of organizations.
A lot of people, once the motel went down, kind of figured, okay, we got the big problem out of the way. We still have other problems. We still have drugs in the neighborhood.
You can't just think short term, you have to think long term.
You've got great people in these communities really working hard, spending their own time, and that's what makes a difference, and that's what sometimes people don't see.
So your advice is organize, never give up.
Never give up. And if you can't do it on your own or you need some extra help, go to your neighborhood communities. Get involved. Never turn down a chance to make where you live a better place.
Thanks for being with us. And remember, you can catch all of our episodes on columbusneighborhoods.org. Plus, see our stories on the WOSU mobile app. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
We hadn't seen the sun in 47 days.
47 days.
Snow piled upon our roof like frosted cake.
Frosted cake. We watched the city plows bury all our cars.
Bury all our cars.
And dreamed of sitting on a beach.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, serving customers and communities for nearly a century. Today, a technology and transformation company. Risk takers, creators, innovators. A company defined not by its history, but by its people. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.